Good evening. Tonight, we're diving into a pressing issue shaping America's heartland: trade policies under President Trump. Tariffs have been imposed on imports from China, Canada, and Mexico to protect U.S. agriculture and boost domestic production. The administration argues these measures will shield farmers from foreign competition and promote self-reliance nationwide. But as with any major policy shift, reactions among American farmers are deeply divided across the board. Some see potential long-term benefits, while others fear immediate challenges could outweigh future gains entirely. One concern is rising costs. Tariffs often lead to higher prices for equipment and supplies vital to farming operations. And then there's retaliation. Countries like China hit back by imposing their own tariffs on key U.S. agricultural exports. China recently levied a 15% tax on products such as soybeans, pork, chicken, and beef imported from the United States. This move has sent shockwaves through rural communities, reliant on international markets for economic survival. Trade tensions escalated further, causing investors to pull funds from volatile sectors and seek safer financial havens. But it doesn't stop at tariffs. A freeze on USDA grants and loans adds another layer of complexity to this crisis. The suspension stems from a broader review of federal spending, but leaves many farmers struggling financially. Without access to critical funding, projects stall, creating uncertainty about how farms can sustain themselves moving forward. Corn growers in Iowa report delays in expanding facilities due to halted loan approvals from government programs. Dairy farmers in Wisconsin face similar struggles, unable to invest in modernizing outdated infrastructure without support. The ripple effects extend beyond individual farms, impacting entire supply chains tied to agricultural productivity. Meanwhile, the administration insists its trade agenda aims to strengthen America's economy over time, not weaken it. Officials argue that reducing reliance on foreign goods will ultimately benefit local industries and create new opportunities. However, critics question whether short-term pain justifies the promised long-term gain for those already stretched thin. For now, farmers grapple with shrinking profit margins amid both retaliatory tariffs abroad and frozen aid domestically. Soybean producers, once thriving exporters to China, now find themselves navigating an increasingly hostile global landscape. Pork farmers share similar frustrations, watching overseas demand plummet despite years of building strong international ties. These developments highlight the delicate balance between protecting national interests and fostering global cooperation. Experts warn prolonged trade disputes risk alienating key partners essential to sustaining America's agricultural dominance. Others point out that domestic consumption alone may not offset losses incurred from restricted access to foreign buyers. Farmers in states like Nebraska and Kansas voice concerns about mounting debts as cash flow dwindles unpredictably. Many hesitate to make significant investments or upgrades until they gain clarity on where trade relations stand. The USDA freeze exacerbates these worries, leaving some questioning if current policies truly prioritize their livelihoods. Advocacy groups urge lawmakers to address these issues swiftly before more damage occurs within the agricultural sector. They emphasize the need for targeted relief measures to help farmers weather ongoing disruptions effectively. Meanwhile, economists monitor market trends closely, assessing how prolonged tensions might reshape global trade dynamics. Some predict shifts toward alternative markets, though establishing new trade relationships takes considerable time and effort. Back home, farmers remain hopeful yet cautious, balancing optimism for recovery with skepticism about uncertain outcomes. The coming months will reveal whether these policies yield sustainable growth or deepen existing divides across rural America,